Hey, good morning, YouTube. It is the calm after the storm. I don't know if I'd say calm. I don't know. It's cleanup day. Well, everything's all cleaned up, minus during the storm at the condos, as you saw, or as we talked about, maybe. People park along their main road, and they kind of, park on the main sidewalk, which we had scraped off, but obviously, kept snowing, got drived on, whatever. So those need to be cleaned up. It is, I don't know what it is now, but when we started this morning, it was negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit here in Concord, New Hampshire. So I told Harvey, stay off the four-wheeler, hop in the little skid steer. The 763 Bobcat is narrow enough to stay on at least those main sidewalks. It'll fit on those. So I sent him there to scrape up while I ran to Site 1 and got a load of salt. Our bin was getting low, and throughout this storm we burned it up pretty good, so instead of running it even lower, it's 15 minutes away to just get a load down here. So yeah, I went and got a load of salt, told Harvey go do that. Well, the little skid steer decided that 12 degrees was beyond it wanting to start point. And that machine starts really, really well. I'm thinking just maybe a little gel up in the fuel. So we got Harvey went and ran and grabbed some diesel 911 fuel treatment. It works wonders. We treat our fuel, but this is kind of like a beyond treatment emergency situation sort of treatment. So we're gonna give that a shot. It was cranking over strong, so I'm not worried about the battery or anything. But yeah, he's on that mission. I'm almost back to the condos, so we'll double down on that. We're gonna clean up the sidewalks, push back some snow piles here and there, and resalt everything. Now, the salt isn't necessarily going to do anything right now, per se, but it'll be there when it warms up. It'll be in place and in play. I'll have to see. I haven't been back there this morning, but I do know yesterday afternoon when we left, there was a lot of bare pavement anyway. There was just some spots that, a lot of traffic, packed spots, cold, people parking while we were scraping one end, yada, yada, yada. Overall, I think that storm went fairly well. I really was kind of stressed out about it being our first time moving all the cars, and it on the higher end of that trigger. I mean, anything over 2 inches, we have them move. So, ideally, a 3-inch storm would have been the best first storm. So getting double that was like a little nerve-wracking, but I'll tell you what, the crew really pulled together. Samantha being on site, just managing, essentially. Like, it literally takes somebody on the phone to do the text alert system to tell what roads to move when and when to go back, and that's a job in itself. And her and Bentley were running around shoveling out, like they have on-site dumpsters, trash dumpsters. So cleaning those up, shoveling them up, cleaning up edges from the sidewalks from the four-wheeler plowing, just neatening things up. Them being there really was crucial, because Harvey and I were the only ones in trucks and equipment. And if I had to do what she and they did, it would have been crazy. So mad props to the Pool and Property crew / family. I think talking to people in there, the timeline of how, what roads got done when and how long it took us for the storm. Sorry, I think I just covered you guys. My hand was cramping. Just using my phone, didn't grab a GoPro, didn't know I was doing this. But I figured I had enough for even a short video for you guys, just talking about the storm and reflecting on how it went. Maybe I'll, obviously show a little bit of the skid steer. It won't just be my ugly mug yapping. But yeah, so the storm, I think all in all went really well. We didn't really have any breakdowns per se, nothing major. And I think that I've learned that 10-foot power angle plow, I know I said it in the video yesterday, but that plow on the skid steer for doing all those parking spots is the way to do that. So fast and efficient and clean. I really think seeing that and then knowing that the V-plow coming behind it was the thing to carry all the snow, I think if you had 2 skid steers with 2 of the cage snow plow containment box, whatever they call them, it's a power angle push box that you can drop the sides off from easy, like all one unit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch a Cage Innovations video. Super cool setup. Pricey, but if you, in that scenario, if you're replacing essentially, you know, a couple different pieces of equipment, if you didn't leave the cab of a skid steer and you had 2 skid steers on that property or a property similar, that's all you need, other than something for the sidewalks, which we've found the 4-wheeler works amazing for, aside from it being cold. But any other sidewalk plow within reason, you're going to be, you know, if you get a snow raider or something like that, you're going to be out in the elements. They don't have cabs, so I'd much rather do it on the 4-wheeler that plows the whole property and, you know, all the sidewalks in 45 minutes. I'd rather be in the elements on that than a snow raider that might take an hour and a half because it's slow. So you take the good with the bad, but I think for our property anyway, that 4-wheeler works great. Still thinking of a salting solution, but there again, the way we do it now is 5-gallon pails and by hand. A lot of people do that. We fill a skid steer bucket with a little skid steer. Somebody can bomb around in a truck or on the 4-wheeler. Somebody drives the skid steer around to a section. One person starts on one end, the other starts on the other. When your bucket's empty, you have salt right there in the skid steer bucket. We could do containers of salt around the property, but my worry is that if you lock them, you're going to fight with locks. If you don't lock them, people are just going to take the salt. So I think doing it the way we do works well. I'd say my major takeaway from this storm is that, yeah, if you had 2 cage push boxes, power angle push box, whatever they call them, I'll have to look it up so I sound less like an idiot, but those things would be killer on this property. I mean, the way we're doing it is working fine. I'm just, as I've said in many videos, I'm always looking to be and do better and more efficient, and I think that would be the option. I also think, Harvey did a little with the plow. I was very confused with that sidewalk. Sorry if I just zoned out for a second. Here, let me flip you guys around and show you guys what this looks like. So for being so cold, I'm hearing, and I don't know if you can tell or see, but any residual buildup on the road with the sun hitting is already melting. So I think a fresh scrape and salt, and we're gonna have it, boys and girls. I think we're gonna have bare pavement by the end of today, and that's saying something for it being so cold. It's not even gonna break out of the teens today or the rest of the week, so. I always forget about the speed bumps. They've been here all summer, all winter, haven't moved. Still forget they're there. Let's see. Now Harvey is making out. Oh, that's the truck running. I thought that was the skid steer out. Oh, it's not the skid steer. That skid steer is the one remaining truck that has amber. Who is that? What's your favorite YouTuber? Oh, he's coming to say hi. Oh, he's trying to get in. Oh, it's running? How'd you do that? It just started when you came back? Oh, did you put the diesel 911 in anyway?
Yeah, I put it in first.
Oh.
And then started. I just ran the glow plugs for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then
yeah, that's got good go
fired,
plugs.
died. I just cranked it right after it fired and died.
Well, I'd find it hard to believe that it pulled the fuel stuff through that quick.
No, I probably could have tried like
but
I already tried for a while and then one just killed the battery.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't hurt to have that in there anyway. So
yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna sit here and
I obviously put way more in than I meant to.
Warm up for a minute. Actually, we'll probably ride around the property and see how we did.
If this is a video, no, my videos would be the wrong way.
You took some?
You
can make it short.
You could still put them,
or make it short. What'd you video starting it or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Should make a short out of that.
Yeah. You're not that short though. You're like 6'1"? Yeah.
Something.
I don't know how you should make it short. I guess you'd have to crop it. That wasn't funny.
It's not a video of me cold starting.
This video is not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
It's not sponsored drink.
Fat guy's drinking diet. Alright guys, that is a wrap. The place is really starting to look nice. The round of salt that's kicking in. Harvey did a great job scraping down the sidewalks with the skid steer. I went around with the plow on the big skid steer and scraped stuff like this slush here before I salted. And we salted everything heavy, and I bet in 2 hours you'll be looking at bare, wet asphalt throughout the entire property. I mean, I don't know how well it shows on camera, but it's already just about that point anyway. You see the little ridge along the side of the curb. It's not a square curb, it's like a rolled curb, just a paved, asphalt curb. So I don't know, unless you had a profiled plow, how you'd get every little bit of it. So that's the salt's job, which it seems to be doing great. So I would say that's a wrap and success on this storm and the after storm cleanup. Now it's time to go home and do a whole lot of nothing. Make a list of repairs, maintenance, and improvements while it's fresh on my brain. And tomorrow we'll be back to carpentry. I haven't shown any of the carpentry we've been doing just because it's at a friend's house and I really didn't want to intrude. But I'm thinking, at the very least, when the projects come to an end, I'll at least get a video of them completed, or maybe some pictures Samantha can throw up. But all in all, I'd say for as nervous, I guess is the word for it, nervous as I was for the first go around in there, making sure we had the right tools, equipment, and some sort of a plan. I'd say the plan went flawlessly. The only defect was, like I said, people only move if they want to. They're supposed to. There's a text that goes out to everybody that lives in there per road. Samantha sends out. It's a real good system, but the system only works if the people do. So I think by and large there was one road that there was just a lot of people that didn't move, and I don't know, they're night shift, they were sleeping, they're elderly, they don't get the text, I don't know. But I mean, you'd think everybody moving their cars, that the people that weren't would figure out, hey, I'm the only guy left on the street. But regardless, it was a good plan. I like the way that works. Yeah, I really think that this storm went as good as it possibly could. For the crew, the equipment, the conditions, I think everything fell in place. So overall, pretty happy with it. I hope if you're somewhere plowing snow, or somewhere you live, you had to shovel and plow. Thankfully, it was light, very easy storm, or at least it was for here, for us here. But yeah, I hope anybody else watching that had to deal with the snow, or I can't say had, some people enjoy it, but anybody that dealt with this storm, hope you got through it well, and I hope we get through the next one well. Hopefully we do as well. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, YouTube.